Pale jacket of Klein, well backed beforehand.
So just quickly, my race timer has kicked off on this video for some reason. It might be because I had to restart between last recording. I've got to be very aware of that. And in my head, I'm going to use the beat timer up here, so I don't want to be trading past this point basically, or roundabout. By the time I get to boys, I must be out of the way. You can do if you haven't got a separate bit of software. I'll restart that. Well, I'll think about it now. So hopefully, yeah, it's picked it up now, but it's too late because it's already in play. Right. Anyway, we'll have a look at this race. I'm probably not going to start until about here, so that's all good and well so far.
Diamond and Farrant's Way are the pair that lead over it. Brummy Boys is a little slow away from the flight of hurdles. Nose-banded runner, blue and white jacket for Kai Lenehan to chase him along a little bit there as they move then on towards the second flight. Klein was in close order to the leaders in third, and then the orange jacket of Potter's Hedger. Hijack travels strongly early on in the race alongside Dija Dode.
Damn it,
with
double click.
Is Chef Derv on the outside and Potter's
I got away with it.
And Brummy Boys, who's been a little bit slow, ballooned a couple of first two flights of hurdles. He comes to number 3 in last position, which they all got over okay. So they move down towards the end of the back straight then. Tom Scudamore, Farrant's Way on the right. Trevor Hemming's jacket. With him is Klein, Adam Wedge, very pale jacket, white cap. The very pale horse is Donna's Diamond, 2 shades of blue, the colours for Sean Quinlan as they leave the back straight for the first time. Then Jack Quinlan in orange, Potter's Hedger, Ryan Mania on Mill Vale. Black and white hoops might have just snuck up ahead of him now to take 4th position.
Scam on these other runners.
Dark blue colours on Hijack is next, and then Dija Dode, Tom Buckley in a yellow jacket, Kai Lenehan as Brummy Boys, blue and white against the running rail. Chef Derv, Jonathan Lingland in green and blue is a little wider as they move to flight number 4. All over that okay.
Go on, Anrest.
Klein, company with Farrant's Way, and on the left the grey Donna's Diamond are the leading trio. Mill Vale then, black jacket, black and white hoop jacket, might be just about moving through into 4th place. Light blue against the running rail of Hijack is with him. Off to the left then, about 1 from the left, is Potter's Hedger in the orange. The yellow is Dija Dode, the longest priced runner. Then in green on the left is Chef Derv, who's in company with Brummy Boys, blue and white jacket at the rear of the field. They've all taken that one safely. So they've completed one circuit. They're getting to halfway.
Oh, I've been too greedy there.
It's only going to be still 7-8 lengths at most between them, taking it fairly steady in the early part of the race. So one more circuit remains. Farrant's Way has always been up there, so also is Donna's Diamond. Klein is
just hanging on there.
The leading
143 went away. I didn't think the price was going to come in this early in the race too much. Not unless it's taller.
And Mill Vale
See how much
alongside him,
on
together. 4th and 5th places, a length off them to the market leader Hijack. Not 6th place at the moment. He'd be most 4 lengths off the leaders.
Now this market's
Dija Dode in the yellow shows signs of beginning to struggle a little bit, and 2 lengths behind him.
Might have to get out here for a lot.
Boys. So they level up then into the far side of the course and begin the run down to 6
second.
from the
Not for long though.
Very narrow lead.
Where's my closing position?
Way.
Up there.
Klein and Donna's Diamond are alongside in 2nd and 3rd places, and then comes the hoops of Mill Vale as they move then to flight number 7.
Sorry to take loss on that one, but there you go. Can't wait. Right.
Hijack, light blue colours. Leader was a bit untidy over that one. Farrant's Way also back in the field. Chef Derv was a little slow. Brummy Boys, nose-banded runner off to the right in blue, labouring at the rear of the field as they move to the middle one, the far side. Farrant's Way better there. Got over it with the lead of about 1.5 lengths or so to Klein and Donna's Diamond, who quickly try to draw level. Hijack is only 1 length off their tails and running in a very narrow 4th place. In black, Mill Vale, in orange, Potter's Hedger are with him. Behind those in green and blue, Chef Derv has been struggling for a couple of furlongs. In yellow, Dija Dode as well as they jump the final one in the back straight. And Brummy Boys,
got a way to go, so
jump it all well, and looks like he's about to be pulled up. He is well behind the others, but they leave the back straight with 3 to jump, and it's still Farrant's Way.
3 to jump still.
The very
get out after the expense.
The white cap of Klein in 2nd. Hijack has suddenly dropped to 6th position and is coming under strong driving as well round this bottom turn. So they
But it's going
run
to keep
towards
coming in that one.
Farrance Wade is leading to
Oh, well.
Millvale, sneaking up on
Maybe
that
not.
fence there in the black and white, and in the orange Potter's Hedge, and they've moved ahead of Klein, who's behind them, and then Donna's Diamond. Hijack is 3 or 4 lengths behind those in 6th position at the moment, as they come down to 3 from the finish, with Farrance Way being closed on by both Millvale and Potter's Hedge, who took it in 2nd and 3rd places. They're now clear from Klein in 4th. Dijadode is about
Come
to
on,
take
close me
4th
off.
position. Donna's Diamond is next. Hijack is behind that. 2 to
There you
jump,
go.
3 in line. On the right is Farrance Way. On the left, in the orange, is Potter's Hedger, and between them is Millvale and the black and white colours. And this trio have got the finish of the race to themselves. Dijadode and
You know that
Klein
one's
are
going to win
behind
the low
those in 4th and 5th places. The last flight coming
Anything
up then,
else?
and Farrance Way trying to see off his dangers. He clambered over the
Oh,
last
no,
flight,
Potters.
but he did so
Go on.
successfully and landed a length and a half ahead.
Make me next
Potter's
to the
Hedger
first.
is the danger in 2nd place. Millvale is behind those in 3rd. Dijadode and Klein are battling out 4th and 5th places. Still a fair way to the line here, and it's Farrance Way in front, but the orange jacket of Potter's Hedger is coming to join him with one last
Potter's
challenge.
Hedger's going to come back.
Potter's Hedger has put his head in front, and it will be there when they pass the line. 2nd place to
Market
Farrance
suspended.
Way. Millvale was next. Then Dijadode was catching him late on in 4th place. Klein is next. Behind those, a big gap to Chef d'Oeuvre and Donna's Diamond.
Now that's sod's law, because it did look like Farrance Way was going to win it. Maybe I should have closed off. It was 20p, but you know, 20p, 20p, it all adds up. You can see that I only got what, £2.94 on Potter's Hedger, where I could have had £3.24. Where did it close off at? I could have got out around there and 3.20. So yeah, for about 25p away. If you're wondering why that happens when I'm hedging each time, it's because the market's moved and maybe I've gone for 6 there. I've actually picked 7 or 8 or something. So what happens is the hedging amount that's gone into the market is a bit more than what's actually required. So therefore, I've put a bit more money in. So I've got more as running as a little bit of a bet because I've basically, I've got lucky with a few extra picks. Sometimes you can get lucky and you can have, it happens rarely, but it does happen. Sometimes you can have like a big one where you've got like, because it matches right up at 200 or 500 or something, you could have like a 50 quid on one and 477 on all the others. And then your hope is that the price might come back in. I know it's unlikely, but I have actually had 1,000 to 1 or winner before. Unfortunately, I only got 12 pence on it, and I didn't plan for it. It was just a bit of luck, really, with how the small bets are placed. So the £2 one at the top placed a smaller hedge bet somewhere around from 12 pence, that got caught, and the horse came back to win. So that was a long time ago now, but I did make 120 quid off 12 pence, which was quite a nice little thing. That does happen occasionally, but it's rare, you get these things. Anyway, next race is we're looking at the 10 past. I think we said Portland was running 5 minutes late. So just a quick look at it in case I don't trade it. It's an iffy one. I'll have a look and see where the price goes, and we'll go from there. We'll see what's in the video. If they're back to run, I might actually keep the video going on this one. Is that the right race? Probably not, no. What I do like about it is it's a long one.
It always surprises me
I'll
when you've
keep
got an obvious.
Talk a bit more crap. I think it will go off in about 20 seconds or so. So we'll keep this going, and I'm still behind on the day after that big loss earlier, but I'm not too fussed about it. I've kept my calm. I've stayed as a kid calm. I've not let it affect me too much. My style of trading, and if it's a break-even day, it's a break-even day. If it's a lost day, it's a lost day. But I'm certainly not going to go and risk my bank. I'm certainly not going to go and lay like this favourite for a tenner or something to try and get that tenner back, because that's just stupid. That's gambling, and we don't do that. Okay, let's have a look at this race. Like I say, I might get involved, I might not. It might just be a sport this one.
If he jumps well enough, then yeah, he's got a chance of a place for sure.
Jarle Enke, third in last year's Welsh National, came on to win this. He was third in this year's Welsh National. Will he win it again? Here's Anthony.
Market in play.
The Portman Cup chase over 3 miles, 4 furlongs and 112 yards now with the extra yardage. 21 fences to take, and Jarle Enke, last year's winner, has gone straight into the lead.
Yeah, just quickly, the problem with these races is that if that favourite is a fool or something like that, price is going to come shooting on everything else, and that is the danger with trading these. So you've got to be aware that could happen.
Oakley dokley.
I don't want to be trading a horse like that's high odds in case that was to happen. Even if that shoots out to 4 or 5 and comes back and wins, that's still going to knock all these other prizes in dramatically, because at the moment that holds on 50% of the book. Right, let's see what happens.
Casbar sizing Cadelco, the Mighty Don, if the cap fits a bit wider, and the back marker is Al Rock. So it is Yalarenki out in front still for the Paul Nicholls team. Yalarenki looking for his 9th career success. He leads in the yellow with the blue spots. If the cap fits, is wider out, touches down in 2nd place. Very smart hurdler, Grade 1 winner.
Looking well.
If the cap fits, he won first time up over fences this season at Fosslas. He's racing in 2nd place at the moment. He can run in snatches, but today, so far, he's going nicely along over this longer distance. In 3rd on the inside is Rock the Casbar under Tom O'Brien. He won an opening race here this afternoon. One-time Grand National fancy he was, Rock the Casbar. He's on the inside the check sleeves. Behind those is Sizing Cadelco. Had some very smart form back in the 2017 season. He's ahead of the Mighty Don in the brown and yellow colours, and the back marker is Al Rock, who has some smart French form to his name over that fence in the home straight. The Mighty Don rather clambered over it, heading towards the middle one of 3 in the home straight here at Taunton. And over it is Yalarenki, who lands ahead of Rock the Casbar and If the Cap Fits in 3rd. Sizing Cadelco in 4th, and then the Mighty Don. And the back marker of the 6 is Al Rock and Lee Edwards. This will be the last in a couple of circuits' time. Yalarenki jumped that one immaculately, lands in front by a couple of lengths. In the blazing sunshine here at Taunton, he'll lead them up past the enclosures, the sadly empty enclosures here today, but he's clear by a few lengths to Rock the Casbar in 2nd, who's racing under Tom O'Brien. If the cap fits,
sticking outside the price,
place. In 4th is Sizing Cadelco and Harry Kimber.
But I've got my finger over the cancel button on the shortcut keyboard. So I'm out.
At the back of the field remains Lee Edwards on board Al Rock.
That's too big for my liking.
Top weight, about to turn and head towards the back straights. And
I've got to remember this is Saturday racing, so the stakes are going to
National at Chepstow, just a fortnight ago behind Secret Reprieve, and he leads by a couple of lengths to Rock the Casbar in 2nd place. He hasn't won since November of 2018. Rock the Casbar, he's racing in 2nd at the moment to If the Cap Fits, looking for a
I'd rather not get matched and not get a breakthrough than get wrong.
Then comes Sizing Cadelco in 4th from the Mighty Don. The back mark
I would also rather trade up 3 as well. It's worth more money, so
the Mighty Don
just a few ticks higher.
Squeezed along on the landing side, heading towards another one over on the far side. This will be taken as an open ditch, and the leader is still Yalarenki out in front by a couple of lengths to Rock the Casbar in 2nd. If the Cap Fits, jumped that well in 3rd. Sizing Cadelco is 4th, the Mighty Don in 5th, just niggled along, still a long way to go. And towards the back of the field remains Al Rock. Towards the next, Yalarenki.
When that price reached there, he got a good jump, so
a couple of lengths clear to If the Cap Fits and Rock.
Might have to try and scratch it a bit out for a small loss.
2nd and 3rd. Out a bit wider is Sizing Cadelco, and then comes the Mighty Don, who is still niggled along. Still a long way to go. James Davies, though, just pushing him along at this stage, and Al Rock is still the back marker over that fence. If the Cap Fits, took a chance that time.
There you go.
Mistake. He just scattered the birch.
I missed it.
Ground, but Yalarenki's in front still, bowling along for Bryony Frost as they prepare to leave the back straight behind them. On this
now that was just taking advantage of a bad jump. That's all it was. If I was quick, I could have doubled that.
But in front by a couple of lengths to Rock the Casbar.
Unfortunately, that's the 2-second delay.
In 3rd, If the Cap Fits, and then comes Sizing Cadelco, who's wide of the Mighty Don, and Al Rock is at the...
You might notice I'm using a few more clicks down here,
so
but that's
still Yalarenki out in front.
I'm using potentially lower stake.
For his first win of the campaign, he's over safely. Rock the Casbar.
Lower liability and lower profit.
There in 2nd, over in 3rd If the Cap Fits, and they're ahead of Sizing Cadelco, the Mighty Don still ridden along, and Al Rock at the back. If the Cap Fits, again a little bit untidy there. And Al
it's nice when they're jumping badly because,
so Yalarenki,
you know, if it does go against you,
in behind a few of them anyway, leads by a couple
it's likely that it's going to go out again.
Next time, Yalarenki is ahead by a length and a half, maybe 2 lengths to Rock the Casbar. If the Cap Fits, is still there in 3rd place. And a few lengths break to find Sizing Cadelco.
I like that 400 quid, that sort of
and then
little
comes
bit.
Al Rock, who has passed the ridden along the Mighty Don.
There you go, look,
so,
it's a quid.
About to head
now that's getting chipped away at.
To the country for the final time.
Here, man.
It's still being led by Yalarenki and Bryony Frost.
On the guard.
Rock the Casbar, who's always been close up in 2nd.
It's a long race, so really trade right again. If
Fits,
there wasn't an odd on, I would definitely
the Mighty Don, who's responding to his
might cut this one a bit
He's
short.
now just into 4th ahead of Sizing Cadelco in 5th, and then comes Al Rock as they turn right-handed once again. So Jarlarenki leading.
This
Can he
market is really jumping
keep up
around
his
on this
gallop?
one.
He leads by 2.5 lengths. To in second place, Rock the Casbah. If the cap fits, in third place under James Bowen. And a gap to find Sizing Cadelco, the Mighty Don, and Al Rock. Jarlarenki tries to stretch them on the run down towards the next fence, number 15 of the 21. He jumps it by 3 lengths to Rock the Casbah. If the cap fits, has moved alongside that runner. Then a gap to Sizing Cadelco.
I'm not
2 more
panicking
lengths
just
to
yet.
find Al Rock and the Mighty
I'm
Don.
outta here,
Quickly
man.
they go towards the open ditch.
There you go.
Over on the far side. And head towards
The market's so
16th.
jumpy, I
It is
wasn't panicking. There's a long way
Bryony
to go
Frost
to
by a
it.
couple to Rock
Yeah.
the Casbah, and if the cap fits, who are still side by side, second and third. On the run towards the next, over on the far side, which is going to be
Might as well
taking
get
5 from the
money
finish.
if I
It is
get another trade
Jarlarenki
through.
by 3 lengths to If the Cap Fits and Rock the Casbah in behind. Over that one, Jarlarenki, again, he was good. He measured it well. If the Cap Fits is trying to go into second place now. Past Rock the Casbah, who's come under pressure.
Oh, yeah.
Back in third. The Mighty Don is being eased at the back. Looks like he's going to be pulled up. Making their way towards the next one on the back, the open ditch. 4 out. Jarlarenki. Oh, he dived at it that time. Good sit by Bryony, but that was a serious
go.
blunder from Jarlarenki. And if the Cap Fits
That's
has
me out.
quickly raced past him, so the complexion of the race rather changes. If the Cap Fits has now gone past Jarlarenki, he's trying to regather his momentum in second place. They're now clear of Rock the Casbah back in third around the home turn. 3 left to jump in the straight in the Portman Cup. If the Cap Fits is out in front by a half length. Jarlarenki is trying to battle back on the outside as they turn for home. They're 5 lengths clear of Rock the Casbah and a gap back to Sizing Cadelco. Jarlarenki coming back at If the Cap Fits now on the run down towards the third last. On the right, Jarlarenki. On the left, If the Cap Fits, the better jump from If the Cap Fits. He's ahead again by a half length to Jarlarenki in second as they race down then towards the second last. If the Cap Fits by a neck to Jarlarenki, who's trying to fight back towards the outside. These two are clear, and Jarlarenki, to his credit, is running on towards the outside. He's got
I don't
a
know
lead
if that's
back
fixed
now
the recording
of
or
If the
not.
Cap Fits in second. Here's the final fence for Jarlarenki. He jumps it well. If the Cap Fits looking a bit tired in second now, and Jarlarenki driven right out after that scare on the last down the back. He'll go on and win the Portman Cup again for Paul Nicholls and Bryony Frost. Jarlarenki driven out wins the feature.
Market suspended.
Hopefully that highlights how dodgy it can be, trading horses with an odds-on runner. Like I said, I only did it because it was a very long race, and I thought there'd be lots of opportunities for the market to fly around. At the end there, it tempted to get in. You could see how much that was moving around. You could probably set that up to, I've sort of adjusted my big choice, so it allows me to do right up to 50 ticks. And you can get away with some of these big moves if you're prepared to do it. I sometimes use this if I've spotted a runner, an outsider, that has a big history of running well, but it's not a stayer and tends to trade in low and then lose. So then I'd lay it at low odds. Like doing a dob, I suppose. I might lay it at even money or something. And if it gets matched, have a high one up. And it is kind of a double or bust trade. So if I don't get matched, I don't get matched. Or like a quarter or whatever, a quarter, double or bust, if that makes sense. It also gives you the option to bail out if you think the horse is doing that well. It might go on to win it. So that's a good little option. But yeah, it would have been good to do that there, but it's just dodgy gambling if you wanted to. If I was to, either one of them horses could have won when we were a couple of furlongs out. And for me to be laying, big at says here, for example, on 50, would have been tempting. I'd have been panicking when it got down here and I would have got out for a loss. So it's just not worth the hassle. Anyway, let's see the next race is in case I keep this recording going. Probably not. I think there'll be a break now. Oh, hang on, we've got that score.
0 seconds.
Been talking so much, we'll move straight onto that in which case. Where are we? 225. That's important not to get carried away when they come through the fast lane.
Market
Wide
suspend-
outside, very much on
market
his
in
toes
play.
before the start and
It
racing
really is.
freely down to the first alongside Classic Ben and also Big Iron on his hip. Cobra
No,
Lobo
remember
on
I'm
the
trading
inside
a
got
different
into it
market now.
a little bit. On Card is going forward, racing
Even though I'm
Keeping.
going
And then
straight from
Favorito
front
Bucks, but the Forgotten One is the leader.
Let it settle
Go to
down
the
like I always-
second. The Forgotten One
see how much the
over.
market's doing.
On Card and Cobra Lobo,
front runner up
Classic
front,
Ben, Big
whatever
Iron on
else.
his hip, Flintham to the outside, back on the inside then is Townsend. Towards the rear, Crossley Tender is well off the pace. It looks quite a frantic pace early on. Faubourg Rosettery towards the rear too with Yaltari as they clear the third. And they're over that one safely enough, with the Forgotten One leading the way by a couple of lengths to Cobo Lobo in second. Townsend up the inside then of Encard as they jump the fourth, the last of that line of fences.
This runner's been moving around a lot, but unfortunately I've
Big
missed it.
Iron on his hip is next, racing
Might be
between
nothing about it.
Favorito Bucks and
I'll
Classic
probably calm
Ben
down now.
as they head towards this right-hand turn. And then Flintham on the outside, Faubourg Rosettery,
reaching the ladders,
Crossley
look,
Tender and Yeltari at the back of the field. Now emerging out of Swinley Bottom and on towards the next line of fences taken on the incline. The Forgotten One with a lead of about 4 lengths over Cobo Lobo in second. Next is Encard, who reached for it over in third from Flintham on the outside. Townsend with the white blaze up the inside. And they are followed then by Classic Ben and Big Iron on his hip as they clear the next. Favorito Bucks towards the inside, Yaltari, Crossley Tender, Faubourg Rosettery onto an open ditch now. Forgotten One, the Forgotten One, over in front from Cobo Lobo.
I cancelled that off because I see a lot of money coming in.
Outside of Townsend, on the outside in the purple
Sometimes you get runs like this, and it's just it's how much money you can get through the market.
And then Big Iron on his hip in the pink jacket, the grey Yaltari.
Stakes, and when you're getting hundreds for it, you're talking about making, you know, some pretty big money on the right race. But obviously you've got to pick your moments for that.
Held up for a late run as they swing right-handed now into the home straight. In
So it's
this
calming down a
Matchbook
bit now,
best
isn't it?
odds handicap chase. The Forgotten One has led all the way so far, the market leader and the leader in the race by 3
I haven't heard
or
its
4
name
lengths
mentioned at all,
to
so
Cobo
I'm
Lobo in
constantly
second. Flintham on the
listening out to the
outside
commentator
of
to see if I hear anything.
over this plain fence.
Oh,
They're
did
followed
then.
by Townsend from Big Iron on his hip, who's just shaken up, leaving that fence behind.
Not too bad, though.
Yaltari, Favorito
He's in
Bucks
a good
on the
position,
far
so
side, then from Crossley Tender,
expect the market to be moving around.
Rosettery, and Classic Ben has lost 1 or 2 places. On to the next. In front of the
People are
stands,
obviously unsure
Forgotten
about
One
it.
over safely from Cobo Lobo. And then Townsend and Encard and Flintham. And then a couple of lengths back to Big Iron on his hip. Yaltari has improved to nearly the midfield. Then Crossley Tender, Classic Ben, Favorito Bucks and Faubourg Rosettery in the rear in the green jacket. So coming to the end of a circuit, and Forgotten One has made it all so far in the hands of Will Kennedy. To Cobo Lobo and John Joe O'Neill in second. Encard on the outside of Townsend disputing third place. And then Flintham wide of these as they run now slightly downhill to the next. The Forgotten One is over from Cobo Logo. Encard.
I want to see that money stay there.
Flintham. Then Crossley Tender making stealthy progress together with Yaltari. Crossley Tender in the orange jacket as they jump the next. Didn't jump that well though, Crossley Tender. Neither did Flintham. Classic Ben further back from Big Iron on his hip. Faubourg Rosettery and Favorito Bucks
really can't come in much more than that.
Just tailing off now. It looks like being pulled up, in fact. Onto an open ditch. And the Forgotten One coming up, just jumping away to the left at most of his fences, but jumping cleanly enough from Cobo Lobo, Townsend, Encard in fourth, then Yaltari, Crossley Tender behind these as they go on towards the next.
A bit greedy.
Cobo Lobo, Townsend, and
just my first one.
Encard, and then Yaltari, a gap developing then back to Crossley Tender. As they race once more into Swinley Bottom, Big Iron on his hip is further back from Classic
very
Ben.
greedy. See if I get picked up on a spike again.
Flintham, who's lost places, and finally Faubourg Rosettery with Favorito Bucks having been pulled up. Turning right-handed now. They've got 6 fences left to jump. The Forgotten One still keeping up a really strong gallop here in the lead from Cobo Lobo. Encard on the outside, and then Townsend as they jump this next plain fence. Yaltari is back in fifth from Crossley Tender. A gap to Classic Ben, and the others are all toiling at this stage. On towards the next. The Forgotten One. Cobo Lobo, Encard on the outside. They are followed by Townsend, now coming under pressure. Yaltari fifth, Crossley Tender sixth. Now an open ditch. The Forgotten One, Encard on the outside, Cobo Lobo between them. So heading on towards the next fence. This is 3 out there coming to the Forgotten One and Encard 1 and 2 at this. Cobo Lobo trying to hold his position in between them, and they're followed away by Yaltari, who moves into fourth place as they now run round the final turn. The Forgotten One one, challenged by On Card on the outside. They've kicked away then from Kobo Lobo. Yaltari stays on, Townsend, and then Crossley Tender on towards the
I'll leave the race
last.
run in
On
case
Card
anyone's
now
interested.
comes through to head the long-time leader, the Forgotten One. Kobo Lobo back in third.
That's where we
On
are.
Card is over safely. Kobo Lobo second. Yaltari is still staying on well. The grey back in third place now. Crossley Tender's running
Is it gonna win
on
it?
as well as they approach the final fence. On Card by about 3-4 lengths to Kobo Lobo. On Card comes in to take it and is safely over. Kobo Lobo a little clumsy. Then
Got one, innit?
Yaltari and Crossley Tender, and racing up the hill towards the line. It's On Card by 5 or 6 lengths in the hands of Charlie Hammond. On Card is going to see them off here.
Now, as I was talking about before, leaving an offset, when you get
Market suspended.
I would have actually made more money in that race. I could have left a little bit of a bet going where I'd made like 3 or 4 extra picks than what I intended to say. But what I love about this strategy, if you get it right, I've effectively just made £5.10 by laying the winner of a race. It's beautiful. Let's have a look at the next race. I don't know if they're still fast and frantic or whether I get a little break. So we've got 4:40 next. Good. I want a little break now anyway, so I'm going to stop this video and we'll come back in a few minutes.